Hi everyone, so today I have a project share and upcoming tutorial. I'm really excited about this, so I don't know what to call it, so I will just call it a traveling journal. So starting at the front, I've made just a very small tassel that includes some sari silk that I'd received in a package, ribbon, fabric, and then I added a key, Tim Holtz time token, and then this wired bulb that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. This I made using a file folder, and it just folds over. So Nick the Booksmith did something similarly, I can't say that word, but it was much smaller, and there's variations in this, and I had seen the idea from something I believe that Tim Holtz perhaps had made, and that's what had inspired me. Don't mind the finger, I kind of took off a chunk while sewing. Here is a book plate using a Tim Holtz die, and then I've added this just to hold it down because I fear I've added just a little too much to this. But nonetheless, you don't necessarily need these if you just use the elastic and you don't fill it up. And that's the back. Again, it's with a file folder, a green file folder. And when you open it up, there's quite a few goodies in here. First, let's just call out this goodie right here, which is the frame. That is made using one of those electrical outlet plates. This was the idea, and everything in terms of how to make this was from Wendy's Journals. I will link her channel below. I love her. She has just so many great ideas. So I used a book plate and then a sewing pattern. I Mod Podged that on and then just stamped it and inked it up. On the left, I've made a pocket, and I've included these division flashcards. I even punched a hole there, and so I figured the recipient could use this, Mod Podge it, put gesso on it to journal if they wanted. I think there's so many ideas, and it's double-sided. I've included a very large tag that is closed, and all you have to do is remove the jute there, and then you can write in there, paint in there. A piece of this slightly embossed cardstock with top hats. Here is an envelope that I embossed with my 3D folder, coffee dyed it, put some ribbons, stamped it. Then inside, I have included 2 large tags, one manila and one craft, and a burlap tag. I'm really happy with how this turned out and how these Tim Holtz 3D dies work. They're just pretty amazing, aren't they? Look at all of the dimension you get. And I know Tim says that you don't have to, but he advises to spray it with water to loosen up the threads, and I didn't in this case, and it's still just, the impression is pretty darn amazing. And here is a little envelope that has been affixed, and keeping it closed is the brad, and you just have to pull that up. And this is a Richard Gary die. I just included a picture there. Oops, I'm at a weird angle. I can't close it at this angle here. Literally standing right over the camera. It's hard to see. Alright, so that is the pocket. The inside of the file folder, I actually sewed on this Tim Holtz fabric, and then I covered it with Mod Podge so it stiffens it up, and then it gives it a lot of texture. Again, as I had mentioned, that is the electrical plate from Wendy. I put some cheesecloth behind there. And this page, couple pages in here, is from a very old book. In fact, let me grab it. I live in the Twin Cities, and University of Minnesota, twice a week, they allow the public to purchase items that they have in this warehouse, and their books are 10 cents a pound. So you just purchase it and they weigh it and they charge you 10 cents a pound. And so I walked out with a load of books for about $1.50 several weeks ago. And they have a lot of good finds. So this is the book that I purchased. It's the Last Glaciation from the American Geographical Society, and it even has the U of M on there. And this is a pretty old book, and the pages are just nicely aged, but it's very brittle. So the year is 1928, and the reason why I purchased this book is it has just some amazing maps in here. And there are some that are missing. I did not take those out. Just look at that. So anyways, this book, I put some of the pages in here, just with some washi tape, because like I had mentioned, it's really brittle. Coffee dyed paper, ledger paper. There's another map. I rounded the corners on the majority of the pages too. I like that effect. There's that page. Look at the map on that one. And that is affixed to this journal. Here's a journal that I made out of a paper bag. Included this little viewfinder wheel. And there are 3 tags. One of them is a tag that came with fabric that I'd purchased from Tim Holtz on a jelly roll. And I thought it was just perfect to add to this. So then you flip this over, flip it up, you have a little journaling spot. So a pocket right here, included this card here. It's old music paper, made a little tuck spot there so you can slide something in there. And, oops, slide this over here. And just more pages, coffee dyed paper, some tags, more of those pages. That's the center, and then I just sewed it down with my sewing machine. And another tag there. So that is a paper bag journal that's also inside this journal. And this is my favorite part. So you have these 2 flaps, one at the top and one at the bottom. So when you flip that up as an example, I added one of the pages, but like I had mentioned, it was getting so brittle, it was starting to just disintegrate or break. So I'd add some washi tape, but I thought this would be a little good journaling spot. There's also one on the bottom as well. And I'm really happy with this part. So this is a flap, but everything that's contained in this flap just kind of tucks in. And then these flaps hold it in, and then obviously they won't fall out through the bottom or the top. So I just printed up some pictures with my Instax. This is my doggie. She's sick, but I love her. And an identification card. And then a couple weeks ago it was National Bicep Day, and my husband decided to pose for the camera. Look at him, he's so handsome. And so I tucked that in, and then if you lift that up, put a little engineering card in there. So just imagine how many of these you can make and tuck in. So I will be making a tutorial on this whole thing actually. And behind there, I just added one of those dies so that you can tuck in more pictures. I left that blank there so that you can stamp or write on. Little envelope for you to put something in, and I believe I just put some coffee dyed paper in there. Having a hard time getting things out. This bulbous finger. And then these are just some letters that I added. These are some letters I purchased at the local thrift store find. It's correspondence from 1942. And I just love the paper that they used in the writing. It's a full letter. It says, "Buy Defense Savings, Bonds and Stamps." And the owner just kept everything. I mean, down to bills and receipts for catalog purchases. So, and then this is, just for you to leave anything that you want, any memorabilia, any letters, love letters, you can place in there as well. You just close that, shut the flaps here, put that paper bag journal back in its place. Then you have a larger journal, and that is my traveler's journal that I made. I am wrapping up on editing this. It's going to be in a couple of parts, this tutorial, because it took quite a bit of time to make, and I was learning how to make it as well. So I will start posting these, and they will probably be about 3 parts. So anyways, I hope you guys like this. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing if you are a subscriber. And I hope you come back to watch the tutorial. Thanks everyone. Bye.